Good morning, dear children. Dear children, we are going to start our civics chapter 5, that is judiciary. Children, have you ever heard about this word judiciary? So, if not, we are going to study in this chapter. Children, at a glance in a newspaper, you see, glimpse of different things that the court does. Fine. Court is doing things in our country, and but can you think that we need these courts? Why do we need these courts, children? You might have heard about different type of court, Supreme Court, High Court, then District Court. Have you ever thought that why do we need these courts? So children, see, in India, we have the rule of law, which means that the laws they are applicable equally to everyone. Fine. And that a certain set of fixed procedures need to be followed when a law is violated. If you find that a law is violated, we have to follow certain set of procedures. Fine. Now here, to enforce this rule of law, we have a judicial system, children. Fine. And that consists a mechanism of court that if a citizen thinks that he has been violated, that person can approach the court. Fine. Can go to the court. Fine. Now see, as an organ, if you talk about as an organ of government, the judiciary plays a very crucial role in the functioning of India's democracy. If you say that India is a democratic country, judicial system is playing a very important role in that. Fine. So see now, if it can play this role only because it is independent. So India is independent, judiciary is independent. So that's why judiciary is doing this role. Now what do you mean by independent judiciary? And the courts which you see in your areas, do they have any connection with the Supreme Court which is in Delhi? So that we are going to study in this chapter. What is the role of judiciary? Why do we need judiciary? Children, the courts they can take different decisions on a lot of issues. Fine. Now see, if you just say that no teacher can beat a student, it is also a law. Fine. It can take decision on sharing of river water. That for that purpose also the court needs to take decision. Fine. Or it can punish any person who has done any sort of crime. If you say broadly, it means that judiciary does not, it can be divided into following ways. The first function is to dispute resolution. What do you mean by dispute resolution? Now the judicial system, it has to resolve the disputes, whether it is between the citizens, whether the dispute is between the citizen and the government, whether the dispute is between the two states government, or it can be between a center and a state government. So all the disputes, who is going to resolve these disputes? So the judiciary is going to resolve all these disputes. The second function, children, judicial review. Now, as a final interpreter of the constitution, now who's the final interpreter? The Supreme Court. Fine. The judiciary also has the power to strike down particular laws passed by the parliament if it believes that these are a violation of the basic structure of the constitution. This is called judicial review. So what the court can do? even the court can, if the parliament has passed a certain law, the Supreme Court can take action on that. Fine, it can strike down that particular law if the court thinks that the law or the whatever rule is passed that is violating the basic structure of the constitution. Now if you talk about the basic structure of the constitution, it's not fixed. Fine, it changes or it goes with time to time. So the basic structure had to be uh, kept in mind. Fine. Then upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Now every citizen of India, children, they can approach the Supreme Court or the High Court if they believe that their fundamental rights have been violating. Fine. So if anybody is violating the fundamental rights of a person, that person can approach the Supreme Court. Likewise, we have seen the example of Hakim Sheikh, who was an agricultural laborer, and he fell from a running train, and whose condition was worse than everything, and he was not being admitted in different hospitals. Fine, how they were taking him from one hospital to another and they were not admitting him. Fine. So what they approached the court, and on hearing their case, the Supreme Court, they ruled that Article 21, what is that? It provides that every citizen the fundamental right of life, and it also includes the right to health. So if anybody, so what they did, what the Supreme Court did, they directed the West Bengal government that they are going to pay the compensation, whatever loss they have suffered. The Supreme Court, I mean this Supreme Court has told the West Bengal government that they are going to pay for that, compensate for that. Fine. So here children, just see, the Supreme Court, it was established on 26 January 1950. Fine. Then what is an independent judiciary? What do you mean by independent judiciary? See, if you just see a situation in which powerful politician has encroached the land belongings to your family, now within this judicial system, the politician has the power to appoint and dismiss a judge from his office. When you take this case to court, the judge is clearly partial to the politician. So the judiciary is independent of everything. Whosoever against the cases, the Supreme Court is going to be partial. The judge is going to be partial to everyone. He is not going to take side of anyone. Fine. The control that the politician holds over the judge does not allow for the judge to take an independent decision. Fine. This lack of independence would force the judge to make all judgments in favor of the politician. Although we often hear of rich and powerful people in India trying to influence the judicial process, the Indian constitution protects against this kind of situation by providing the independence to the judiciary. Now if it will not be independent, then the judge can take the decision in favor of any person. So here the constitution says that the judiciary is independent. The judiciary can take decision independently. One aspect of this independence is separation of powers. So what do you mean by separation of powers? It means that other branches of government like legislature and executive, they cannot interference in the working of judiciary. The courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. So court is not coming under any government, is not coming into the influence of any government, and judiciary is separate from legislature and executive. Fine. Now for the above separation of to work well, it is very crucial that all the judges in the High Court as well as the Supreme Court are appointed with very little interference from these other branches of the government. Once appointed to this office, it is also very difficult to remove a judge. So they are appointed by the government. Fine. So it is the independence of judiciary that allows the court to play a central role in ensuring that there is no misuse of power. So court ensures this, that there is no misuse of power which is done. Fine. Now by the legislature or the executive, even they will check the legislature and executive works as well, and it plays a crucial role in protecting the fundamental rights of the citizens. Fine. Because anyone can approach the court if they believe that their rights have been violated. So whosoever, any person can come and approach the court. Fine. What is the structure of courts in India? How the what's the structure? You can see this triangle. At the lowest level, it is the lower court. Fine. Then comes the high court, and at the top is the Supreme Court. Fine. There are three different levels of court in country. What are they? Several courts at a lower level. Fine. They while there is only one at the all apex level, or at all levels, one is at the top, that is the Supreme Court. The courts that most people interact with are what are called the subordinate or the district courts. So lot of people every day they come in contact, we people come in contact with our district courts. Fine. So then after that, they are usually at the district or the tehsil level or in the towns, and they hear many kinds of cases. They have to hear a lot of types of cases. Fine. Now each state is divided into districts that are presided over by the district judges. So there we have district judges. Now every state has a high court, which is the highest court of the state. In tehsil there is different court, district courts are there. Fine. Now after that we have at state level we have the high court, and at the top level we have the Supreme Court, which is located in New Delhi. And who's the head here? Chief Justice of India. So whatever decisions made by the Supreme Court, all the lower courts, they have to abide by the decision of the Supreme Court. So here you can see these are the high courts. Find the high courts, the first established in three presidencies, Calcutta, Bombay and Madras, and 1862. High Court of Delhi, it came up in 1966. 25 high courts. Fine. Then they have their own high courts. Many high courts are there. Just go through it. Fine. Now, are these different levels of courts? They are connected to each other, so that we are going to study. Fine. Now in India we have integrated judicial system, means that the decision made by a higher court, the lower courts have to say yes to them. They have to abide by those. Now another way is the integration is through a appellate system which is there in India. So what is the system? The system means that if a person can appeal to the higher court if they believe that the judgment passed by the lower court is not just. Fine, it's not correct. So we will understand this with the case which is stated as Delhi administration versus Lakshman Kumar and others. Fine. So in February 1980, Lakshman Kumar married a 20 years old girl Sudha. So they both were married. Fine. And they were living in a flat in Delhi, and they're living with Lakshman's brother and family. Fine. On 2nd December 1980, Sudha died in a hospital and she was burnt. Fine. So Sudha's family, they filed a case in a court against Lakshman and his family. Now when the case was heard in the trial court, four of their neighbors, they witnessed, they were called as witness, and they said that they have, on December 1 they found Sudha screaming, and they went to their home and they found that Sudha was standing with her sari into flames. So they said that they brought a blanket and they wrapped Sudha in that, and Sudha that time told that her mother-in-law has poured kerosene oil on her, and it is her husband who has lit the fire. So during that trial in the lower court, you can say district court, so the members of Sudha's family, the neighbor, whatever they stated, so what happened, so because of that they also gave the statement that Sudha was tortured by her in-laws because they were demanding more cash like a scooter or a fridge on the birth of their first child. So whatever the defense said, Lakshman and his mothers stated that they said that Sudha's sari accidentally caught fire, and we are not involved in all this. Fine, the court found Lakshman and his mother Shakuntala, brother-in-law, they all were sentenced to death. Now what happened? Now in November 1983, they went to the High Court and they appealed there. And what did the High Court say? The High Court said that Sudha Sari got a fire accidentally, so they were all acquitted. Matlab acquitted means they all were set free. Now what happened in 1985? Now what? Now see, you have seen in class 7th also about the dowry deaths, how the women struggled a lot and this and that. Fine. So same way in 1985, now uh, the parents of Sudha, they appealed in the Supreme Court. Now what did the Supreme Court do? They heard the appeal and they got uh, they got mother and Lakshman, they both were guilty, and the brother, for the brother-in-laws, they don't get enough evidence against them, so both of them were imprisoned for life, for the lifetime they were imprisoned. So this was just an example for how you can go from one court to another, how you can appeal. If you are not satisfied with the lower court, you can appeal in the high court, and there if also you are not satisfied, you can appeal in the Supreme Court. So this was all about the topic, children. Thank you and have a nice day.